video brought to you by Meeple Monthly, the Game Insider magazine. For more information, check out meeplemonthly.com. Hi there everybody, it's Raine again with Initiative Tabletop, and I'm happy to bring you yet another Meeple Monthly Releases video. Now, I've got the April issue here, which talks about June releases, and since it's the beginning of June, I wanted to go ahead and get out some June release information. We're a little bit behind because we had some stuff going on last month, but I'm happy to have this here. Enough about that. Let's crack this open and see what some exciting things are that are coming out in the month of June. Starting off, I want to talk about Alderac Entertainment Group, AEG. They're coming out with Rumpelstiltskin. This game is $9.99 retail. If I want to win our game, I first must guess your true name. In Rumpelstiltskin, you and a friend take the roles of Fey folk who have decided to engage in a name-guessing contest. You must use your own magical mischief to learn your opponent's secret name while protecting your own. It's a cool little small game, a light game that I feel like would work really well with, parties or families, or, maybe trying to get some younger people in on a game. I think it would be perfect. Again, $9.99 retail. Something I've been personally excited about is Game of Crowns. Game of Crowns. Long ago, the great Rulean Empire was united under a single banner. In the aftermath of Rule's doom, the empire was shattered, torn apart into 9 houses, each led by one of the emperor's former council. The realm was thrown into bitter conflict as each of the 9 houses vied for power over the others, each seeking to reunite the broken empire under their rule. In Game of Crowns, each player takes control of one of 9 noble houses. During the game, players can exchange cards and favors through diplomatic relations, or directly attack opponents through warfare in order to take what they want. To me, this kind of sounds like a lighter version of Game of Thrones mixed with the Romance of the Nine Empires game that they came out with for that Kickstarter. It looks better though. I like the artwork on it a whole lot better, and the gameplay mechanics seem to be a lot more smooth than the 2 games I mentioned. But if you're looking for something in the mid area between something like Game of Thrones and something like Romance of the Nine Empires, this is probably going to be good for you. So yes, Game of Crowns is going to be releasing in June, and it is $29.99 retail. Moving on, finally from AEG, you've got Doomtown Reloaded, No Turning Back, $14.99. This is going to be another expansion. It contains 84 cards, 21 individual cards, 4 copies of each, 1 player set of a bonus base set with clarified text, and 1 story sheet about the latest movers and shakers in the town of Gomorrah. Now, like I said, it's an expansion kind of like the Saddlebag expansions were previously. $15, you're going to get a lot of new stuff added to your game. Moving on with Asmodee editions. The game I want to talk about coming up from Asmodee is a game called Barony. Now, I've heard a lot about this in the news. I've heard a lot about it in the community. People are just excited about this game. $49.99 retail. On the outskirts of the Empire, the tension is palatable. In the race for power, your struggles take on more and more challenging proportions. As a baron, you rule one of the 4 most influential families of the region. With your army of knights, you have to reach the most rich and fertile lands, colonize them, and above all, fend them against your opponents. You also have to climb the ranks in order to one day maybe become the new king. So it's kind of like a resource management, area control type of game. I'm really excited about it. The components look really good. The artwork is really awesome. This is what I'm excited about for Asmodee coming out this month. Moving on to Cubicle 7. Cubicle 7 is the company that makes the One Ring RPG, which happens to be one of my top 5 favorite RPGs of all time. So for $29.99 in June, they are releasing One Ring, Journeys and Maps. This resource for the One Ring contains 4 double-sided poster-sized maps detailing the lands of Walderland, Eriador, Rohan, Gondor, and Mordor in fantastic detail. One side of each poster is an adventurer map suitable for sharing with your players in a game. The other side is a lore master's map complete with secret locations and the dangers and difficulties associated with each region. As well as maps, the supplement also includes a 32-page guide to journeys in the One Ring, with expanded descriptions of hazard episodes, rules for traveling by boat, and introducing the dreaded Corsairs of Umbar. I like the way that Cubicle 7 is wrapping things up for The One Ring. And I don't mean wrapping things up as in ending it. I mean the way they present it to you. It's awesome. I feel like they really give their lore masters the tools they need to run their games. There's very little question. Even if you know very little about the Tolkien universe, the tools that are given to you in The One Ring make it really easy to streamline a game, and I just think the mechanics are fantastic. Without leaving Cubicle 7, I want to talk about Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor Sourcebook. That's $39.99. For those of you who enjoy Doctor Who, they also put out a tabletop RPG for Doctor Who. This book specifically celebrates the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. This source book explores the 10th Doctor's adventures on Earth and beyond. It has detailed information on the allies, enemies, aliens, and gadgets that he encounters. So it's just more information on the 10th Doctor, who happens to be my favorite. So check that out if you're a Doctor Who fan. We're going to move on to Catalyst Game Labs. This is a game that I've heard a lot about as well. It is the Jarl, the Vikings tile laying game. I'm seeing a lot of advertisements for this all over the place. $39.99 for this game. In Jarl, the Vikings tile laying game, players move their tiles around the board and flip them over after each move. Each tile's side shows a different movement profile. If you end your movement in a square occupied by an opponent's tile, you capture that tile, capture your opponent's Jarl to win. So it's it reminds me of kind of like Othello or the game Go, but it's themed obviously in Vikings and it's with tiles. I think it's going to be pretty fun. I'm really hoping the Catalyst knocks it out of the park with this. I'd like to see some more cool stuff from them. So probably the most exciting thing I am going to talk about is a game from Eagle Griffin called Clockwork Wars. Now I love steampunk. I love all kinds of like fantastic things that are set in steampunk worlds. This game is it. I've been reading up on this game. Now it's a big box game. It's $99.99. But check this out. Clockwork Wars is a game for 2 to 4 players who command a unique race of creatures in a tense war set in a fantastic steampunk universe. Take control of the calculating purebreeds, the industrious troglodytes, the mighty Rhinox, or the ground mongrels. Invest in research and discover astonishing new technologies like golems, analytical engines, and the wondrous spire of the gods. Your goal is to vanquish your foes and accumulate the most victory points through 7 turns of play. So to me, it's kind of like a real-time strategy game, but in a board game. So there was a game that released not too long ago called Purge: Sins of Science, and it was a real-time strategy game, kind of like StarCraft, and you had cards and you could just build whatever you wanted to build and then go fight the other player. Clockwork Wars seems to be something like that, except there's a lot better components, the storyline is much better, and Clockwork Wars is just a giant game. The artwork looks fantastic, and there's been a lot of care going to Clockwork Wars. In fact, if you pick up this issue of Meeple Monthly, there is a whole spread in it dedicated just to Clockwork Wars right here. So this is going to tell you everything you need to know about Clockwork Wars, some information on how it was developed and things like that. So don't forget to pick that up if you have the chance. Releasing with Clockwork Wars is actually going to be an expansion for it called Clockwork Wars Sentience. Now this is $29.99 as an expansion, and it adds a number of new discovery and espionage cards, a new court, more hexagonal tiles to make even larger varied maps, 2 new territory types, and a 5th race, the Inventions. So it's basically just going to be one of those expansions where you don't want to play the game without it, I feel like. So keep your eyes on those 2 things, Clockwork Wars and then Clockwork Wars Sentience coming out this month, and I'm excited. Moving on, I want to mention really quick, coming up from Game Salute is Alien Frontiers Expansion Pack 6. You need to check with your local retailer for pricing on this. It's expansion cards for Alien Frontiers. It contains 1 new agenda, 7 new outer belt cards, 1 new reference card, and 3 new alien tech cards. And of course, you've got to have the original Alien Frontiers to play. So if you're into that, check that out. Moving on to IDW Publishing, I know I'm going really quick here. Machikoro Millionaire's Row is coming out this month. It's another one that you're going to want to check with your retailer for pricing. A lot of people have been playing Machikoro. It looks like a lot of fun. A lot of people are having a great time with it. So this is definitely going to be something on a lot of people's lists. Millionaire's Row brings 13 all-new powerful establishments to the town of Machikoro. Designed to be used with the base game and fully compatible with the Harbor expansion as well, Millionaire's Row brings the total number of buildings available to purchase to more than 30. It's a lot of buildings. And it means you'll never play the same twice. Take control of your town with Millionaire's Row. So yeah, if you're looking to add to your Machikoro game, this would be the expansion to buy. Plus it sounds cool. Millionaire's Row, you want to play that. Coming from Yellow, there is a game called 8 Masters Revenge that's going to be releasing. It's another one you want to check with your retailer for pricing on. Only a few fighters have made you eat dust. Coincidentally, one of them is standing in front of you right now, ready to fight. Your hands rise to an impenetrable guard. Your time has come to take revenge. In the fighting game 8 Masters Revenge, you are a martial arts master and you want to beat your opponents strike after strike. Your only weapons are your 2 hands, presented by the 2 cards you have in play. Find the weak point in your opponent's guard to deal damage to him. As soon as his health marker reaches the last space of his life track, he's out for the game. So it's kind of like a fast-paced, punching, dodging blows kind of game, all with cards. So that looks really cool. The artwork looks really awesome. Yellow is really good at producing games like that. So keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be great. They're also going to be releasing Heroes of Normandy, Saint Mere, or Saint Mere, however you want to pronounce that. You can recreate the Battle of Saint Mere with the new scenarios in this expansion. That's basically all its description says here in the book. It looks pretty good. The artwork looks really cool for it. And of course, if you're a Heroes of Normandy fan, you're going to want to pick this up and add it to your collection. So moving on to Margaret Weis, I want to talk about real quick 2 things for the Firefly RPG are coming out. That is Echoes of War Volume 3 and Ghosts in the Black. So Echoes of War Volume 3, $24.99. You and your crew will fly from one side of the verse to the other when you escort a spoiled Princess of the Rim, rescue a war-torn orphanage, and help an old friend save his wife from a powerfully terrible fate, and more. It's kind of like a collection of adventure paths for the Firefly RPG. So you want to pick that up. And Ghost in the Black will be $39.99. It's a softcover supplement for the Firefly RPG. It's a full-length adventure campaign supplement designed by Robin Laws. You and your crew will have to perform some thrilling heroics over the course of 5 unique episodes to uncover legendary Alliance warships' dangerous secrets. As you play through 6 Cylinders Make a Right, Prisoner 3102Y, Tombstone Bullets, and a Graveyard Mine, along with Hellhound Trail and the Big Dark, you find out just how powerful the Alliance truly is. So again, it's another kind of collection of little adventures for the Firefly RPG. And I think that's great too, because it's in a way kind of some new content for fans of Firefly. So I think it's really cool. Like, you can keep your own stories going, and it's kind of a unique way to get out there and explore the verse. So check those 2 out from Margaret Weis, coming out this month. So here comes the big one, for me anyway, Privateer Press. They got a lot of stuff coming out in June. First of all, War Machine Reckoning. They have a soft cover for $31.99. The hardcover is $41.99. The Kingdoms of Humanity stand as one. The rising threat of the Crixian armies has become too great. Death permeates the war-torn region, and Empress Ain and King Leto themselves chance incredible danger to meet and coordinate their stand. The Protectorate's Northern Crusade joins Kadar and Signar in a full alliance of men against the unending armies of the Dragon Father. Fight for survival with new warcasters, including new heroes, as well as epic incarnations of some of War Machine's most feared and revered legends. It is time to send those Crixians packing back to their Dragon Father. You know that if Kador and Signar are getting together, it's business. It is business, and somebody's going to get mopped. And I have a feeling that the Dragon Father is going to be pretty sad at the end of this. So again, War Machine Reckoning, I think this is going to be great. Make sure you pick it up. I can't wait to see some of the new Warcasters and abilities in that. After that, you're going to want to take a look for War Machine Khador, Iron Fang Pikeman, and Black Dragon's unit with unit attachment. $59.99 for this unit. Khador's heavily armored Iron Fang Pikemen are charged with hunting down and destroying enemy warjacks, carrying explosive-tipped blasting pikes designed to tear through the thickest armor man or machine. Seriously, these Iron Fang Pikemen are nothing to just look over. These guys can shield wall. They can bring you down real hard if you don't watch what you're doing. Now, you can field up to 2 of these units per Warcaster in a Khadorian army. Basically, this is a re-release of some of the older models, but they're plastics. Speaking of the War Machine all-in-one army boxes, the Retribution all-in-one army box is going to release this month, and it's going to be $129.99. And here is what you're going to get in this army box. It contains a complete 35-point army with the following models: 1 Warcaster Assyria Symbol of Dawn, Banshee Heavy Myrmidon, Manticore Heavy Myrmidon, House Guard Halberdier Unit, House Guard Halberdier Officer and Standard UA, House Guard Rifleman Unit, Arcanist Solo, House Guard Thane Solo, and 1 Iris Mage Hunter of Eos Mercenary Solo. It looks to be that only the House Guard Thane Solo, the Mage Hunter, and Assyria herself are white metal. Everything else is going to be plastic. But if you are a Ret player, or if you are looking to get into Retribution, this is the way to do it. So definitely give that a look-see. Moving over to Hordes, Circle Ouroboros Tharn Wolf Riders Light Cavalry Unit. The Ouroboros faction is going to be getting their cavalry unit. They are going to be in plastic rather than metal, so it replaces old models. $84.99. You may be able to field 1 Wolf Rider unit for each Warlock in the Circle Army. And I just got to read this to you because it's awesome. An eerie chorus of wolves precedes the attack of Wolf Riders. Blood trackers astride huge dusk wolves. These warriors strike faster than most enemies can react. Up next, in Hordes, we've got Scorn Extreme Titan Gladiator Heavy War Beast. $69.99. This guy packs a huge punch. This is a premium extreme sculpt designed as a collector's display piece, but you can also use it in the game. So be able to look out for that. That is for Scorn, and that is going to wrap up Privateer Press. That being said, let's go on to another one of my favorites, Paizo. They've got something for everybody. Starting off, we've got Pathfinder cards, the Pathfinder Society face cards, $10.99. Now, these are basically going to be cards that represent 55 portraits of prominent Pathfinder leaders and allies of the Society. Now, these are great for if you're trying to run a Pathfinder Society game and you're like, oh, this guy is coming to talk to you, this is what he looks like. That's really cool. I like being able to do that and show my players who they're talking to. So Pathfinder cards, these don't have any effect on the game. You don't have to have them, but it's a cool supplement to add if you're a GM like me that likes to have all the bells and whistles. Following that up is the Pathfinder Map Pack Sea Caves, $13.99. The Pathfinder Map Pack Sea Caves contains 18 5x8 inch maps. These are crafted by Jason A. Engel. GMs and novices alike will find this fitting perfectly into their arsenal. So it's basically caves that are filled with water, various different underground caverns. So something for your Skull and Shackles game, or just for your homebrewed campaign where your players are shipwrecked and have to get out of a cave to find safety, or get into a cave to find safety. However you want to play it, I'm not going to judge you. You're the GM, not me. So, continuing on, Pathfinder Map Pack Camps and Shelters, $13.99. This is also going to have 18 5x8 inch maps by Jason Engel. These are great for when the sun goes down, The adventures don't end when the sun goes down. So your players need to set up a campsite, or they stumble upon a campsite, something like that. These maps are perfect. You don't have to go out of your way to draw anything. Just pop these out on the table. They are going to do you well. Up next is Pathfinder Adventure Card Game Wrath of the Righteous Adventure Deck 2 Sword of Valor. So the Pathfinder Adventure Card Game was released and announced not too long ago. It's out in stores now. You can go get it. This is the Adventure Deck 2, so it's the second Adventure Deck for the game. $19.99, Sword of Valor. Take back the fallen city of Dresden and reclaim lost treasures of the faith with this Sword of Valor Adventure Deck. This 110 card expansion adds new locations, monsters, villains, and more to the PACG. So, get that, continue your PACG, lovely, lovely gaming, and kill some demons while you're at it. That's always fun. Up next is Pathfinder Adventure Path, Anvil of Fire. Now this is 5 out of 6 in the Giant Slayer Adventure Path series. $22.99 for this. Tracking down the Storm Tyrant's fire giant allies, the heroes head for an elite military academy where the Storm Tyrant is training officers for his giant army. A subterranean dungeon complex beneath the caldera of a dormant volcano in the Mindspin Mountains. That just spells #nope all over it for me. But if you're looking to go have some fun in a volcano, you need this. This is going to continue that adventure path for you. And if you're playing through it, you're going to want to pick it up. Up next is the Pathfinder campaign setting, Hell Unleashed, $19.99. And I like these campaign settings because they give you a lot of great ideas of where you can set your world in, how you can expand your game, especially if you're homebrewing, or if you just happen to need some location help for even an adventure path you're running. These are perfect. So, Hell Unleashed. Break the seals of hell and unleash the ultimate evil upon your Pathfinder campaign with an unholy collection of devils, cultists, and worse. Pathfinder campaign Hell Unleashed presents 12 diabolically detailed encounters featuring the slaves and masters of the infernal realm, including an Asmodean summoning ritual primed to rip open reality, a lethal Hell Knight test of worthiness, glimpses into the soul markets of the infernal metropolis of Dis, profane details on the infamous Book of the Damned, and a march through the fortress of one of Hell's godlike gatekeepers. And if that does not get your blood pumping, you are asleep. Make sure you pick this up, especially if you're playing any of the Wrath of the Righteous Adventure Path, which is fantastic, by the way. You'll want to pick this up too, along with probably the Demon Hunter's Handbook. Check that out. Hell Unleashed, $19.99, coming at you this month. I think following that up, we're going to have the Pathfinder Player Companion, Monster Summoner's Handbook. $12.99. It's a handy little book to have, especially if you're playing a summoner, hint, Monster Summoner there. Call upon other worldly powers and summon beings from beyond with Pathfinder Player Companion, Monster Summoner's Handbook. Featuring dozens of new feats, magic items, archetypes, and character options designed to grant you control over fantastic beasts or enhance your summoning prowess. This player-friendly volume contains everything you need to transform your adventurer into a herald of forces, benign or malevolent, divine or alien. So if you happen to be playing Reign of Winter and see a giant white weasel, you can tame it and then summon it. I don't know, however you want to do it. Again, you're the GM, not me. Soda Pop Miniatures up next. That was all with Paizo. Soda Pop Miniatures is releasing Super Dungeon Explorer Von Drack Manor 2.0 level expansion. It's $59.95. Baron Von Drack has ruled the Glower-Doom Moor from his haunted manor for centuries. Now he's pledged the might of his nightmare hordes in the Dark Consul's cause. The twisted necromancers of the Dust Covenants have plundered crypt and grave, releasing legions of armor-clad skeletons and undead abominations. Yet all is not lost. Mighty heroes of light have answered the call to defend Crystallia. They arrive on angelic wings and with cracking whip, slashing claw, and holy might, as they stand ready to turn back the darkness. So this sounds pretty freaking awesome. Super Dungeon Explorer is just great, and any expansion for it is just amazing. You got it. They are also releasing dungeon tiles for Super Dungeon Explorer, the Von Drack Ghost House, $34.95, and it's just 6 themed double-sided dungeon tiles, creep miniatures, and game cards. It's a nice little pack there for your Super Dungeon Explorer. Alright, now something else I want to talk about. We're going to go on to Vampire Squid cards. Now, if you're familiar with Vampire Squid or been looking at our website at all, you'll know that Vampire Squid released an unofficial, which is now official, third-party expansion for Cards Against Humanity called Crabs Adjust Humidity. I didn't have anything to do with that name. You can email them to find out what that's all about. It used to be that you would only be able to get these through like a pre-order system through their website, that you could get it straight from them, but Now these are going to be released in retail because they are now official expansions for the game. Each one of these is going to run you $18.95. They are hilarious if you're still playing Cards Against Humanity, and you can even get a blank deck from Crimes Against Humanity. It's just blank cards. You can write in whatever you want. Yeah, I wanted to mention that. Vampire Squid cards, we love those guys. They're awesome. Go check that out. Finally here, we're going to wrap things up with WizKids. Now, WizKids has gotten a soft space in my heart lately because I absolutely love the D&D Dice Builders. Crazy game. It is awesome. But WizKids is also partnered with Pathfinder to release special miniatures just for their game. Now, Pathfinder Battles Dungeons Deep is releasing in June this month. Dungeons Deep is the latest 5-figure set to release in the award-winning Pathfinder Battles line of miniatures. Dungeons Deep features fiends and foes from the world of Golarion and is sure to please the Pathfinder fans, new and veteran alike. This is going to be a booster brick. You're going to need to check with your retailer for the price on that, but that is coming as well. Finally, last but certainly not least, is the Pathfinder Battles miniatures, the Gargantuan Red Dragon promo for the Dungeons Deep set. Now, this is a pre-painted red dragon. It stands several inches tall and towers over all of the miniatures in the Pathfinder Dungeons Deep set. This dragon is a beautiful display piece as well. I know plenty of people who buy these things just to put them up. And if you really want to have some fun, buy one and drop it into an attack wing game just to see your friend have a heart attack. That would be wonderful. And whoever pre-orders a Dungeon Deep standard booster case will have the opportunity to purchase this. And this is also something you're going to have to check with your retailer or WizKids to find out the price of. Usually the way they do is if you buy a giant booster box of the miniatures, you can purchase this promo model to go with it and just completely complete your collection. But you know what, guys? That is it for this video. WizKids wraps it up for June. We're going to try our best towards the end of June. We're going to get out July's releases, and then in July, I think we're going to hit it hard before we go to Gen Con. So those of you who are going to Gen Con, keep an eye out on our channel because we're going to have some more videos going up. And for those of you who haven't yet, please go check out our GoFundMe campaign. We're just basically trying to raise some funds to help get out to Gen Con, to focus more on it and less on our day job things that we have to do in order to get out there, because we want to put up what you guys want to see. So, thank you for sticking around with me and putting up with me for this video. Thank you again to Meeple Monthly for continuing to support us. And if you haven't yet, check out Meeple Monthly. You can get yourselves a sweet, sweet magazine, and you can even skip having to hear me because this is all straight from the magazine. There's even stuff in here that we didn't cover. So, check them out, and until next time, guys, happy gaming, and in this case, happy reading.